You know what pisses me off? Drunk drivers. This topic may be a little more unfunny than normal, but I have a little story for you. On Sunday night, which was Easter, the day to praise the Lord, my friends and I were driving from Santa Barbara to LA at like 10 or 11 at night, and we see this Kia in front of us swerving all over the road. So I called 911 and reported the drunk driver because it pissed me off that there was a drunk driver on the road who just so blatantly was drunk because of how they were driving. I slowed down because I didn't want to be behind them, because if they crashed into someone, I could potentially be in that crash. 5-10 minutes later, I see them again and they had smashed into the left wall and then gone all the way to the right end, swerving, I don't know how, not hitting another car, and then was trying to go in the emergency lane on the right. Like, they were still trying to drive. They were going about 30 miles an hour. I called 911 again. I was like, listen, someone needs to get this car off the road. I got patched through to a highway patrol officer and I guided him step by step where to find the dude. And then we were still talking in the car about how pissed we were that people were drunk driving. My friend Rachel was in the car with me. She made a great point. Like, we need to constantly call in drunk drivers when we see them. We need to always be calling 911 whenever there's a drunk driver, because if they get away with it, then they think that they can get away with it every single time, and one of those times will lead to an actual crash and potentially end someone's life. Everyone knows this, that you're supposed to report drunk driving when you see it. I feel like no one actually does it, because 911 said I was the only person that had called them in, and they had passed and almost hit like 30 cars. I don't know how I was the only person that called it in. It was clear that they were drunk. I mean, they smashed into the wall. They were swerving in and out of lanes like crazy. Anyway, I get home. I text my mom and said I was home. The next morning, I woke up to several text messages of my friends and family saying, hey, did you get home safe? I found out later that night that there was another drunk driver that crashed and killed 3 people in a white car on the way out of Santa Barbara. I had 3 people in my car and I had a white car, so people who knew me read that and they freaked out. I told everyone I was fine, but then I thought about it. How many drunk drivers were there on the road that night that were so plastered that they caused accidents? They killed 3 people because they decided it would be totally fine to get drunk and get behind the wheel of a massive piece of metal. Why would you think that's okay to do? If I find out that you drink and drive, I automatically lose respect for you, because how selfish of a person can you be? You're not only putting yourself at risk, you're putting other people's lives at risk. No one who is a normal human being is gonna congratulate someone for drinking and driving. No one should think that's cool. If you know you're going to drink, figure out a way to get home that doesn't involve you getting behind the wheel. Sleep in your car for an hour. Call Uber, call a cab, call your freaking parents. When my friends and I decide that we're gonna go out and get drinks, we automatically decide who's gonna be the DD. And if no one wants to do it, I freaking do it. I don't care. I don't need to get tipsy or get drunk or even have one beer to have a good time. So if all of your friends are stupid and insist on drinking and not designating a driver, volunteer to be the DD. Guess what? It's actually pretty fun. With that being said, if you know someone who's died because of drunk driving, I'm really sorry. That sucks a lot. I'm so angry right now. This is actual anger. I know this, even though if you do this, there's no accountability, but whatever. But promise me that you will never drink and drive. Please. And promise me that if you see someone, like one of your friends, who may have had a few too many try and drive, that you stop them. You may get in a huge fight, but guess what? It's better you get in a little fight than them try and drive drunk. Alright, enough with that. Subscribe to see what pisses me off every Tuesday and Rachel's Room every Thursday. Comment below, tell me what pisses you off. It could be my topics for next week's video. And leave questions for Rachel's Room. And remember guys, stay awesome possums.